We've been let down by the person who was bringing the relay and the switch housing. So Priscilla is spilling her guts to give us at least one of the pieces that we need, hopefully. We've been scavenging pieces from Priscilla and from Lulu, actually. The most important thing being this, which we should have received today, but unfortunately that hasn't quite worked. So we've scavenged that from Priscilla, but all of this stuff has to go into Purdey as well. Terror Trip, a little GPS thing. This is brilliant, by the way. GPS capture for the mini iPad. So yeah, lots to do. And that's that bit in place. Now we need to get all the wiring done and connected on this switch panel so we can check that everything works ahead of taking her for her test. And here we have an instrument panel with lights on, which is pretty exciting. We need to check that things actually work because we don't want to assume. Oh yeah, voltage is a bit low. That's good.
No, you have to have headlights on, don't you?
Yeah, that's a fog light. Hazards. Can they work? Well, it says they are. Do you want to check?
Yeah, we definitely got flashy things.
Good. Rather annoyingly, there's no light comes up on that switch, is there? Oh, there is. Okay. Or does it go off when you push it in then?
No, it's just a duff connection. I think there's an earth on there.
Okay. Well, that's all looking good. Hopefully Mr. Control Technique Man will be happy. He nearly blew some. Oh yeah, and that light works. Turn that so I can see it from here. Oh yeah. That's all good. Yeah. As it's a sunny day, we thought that we ought to check some of the camping equipment because it hasn't been out for a while. I know, I'm hoovering the tent. So last time we used this tent, me and Marcella used it, and we were in the middle of a really bad sandstorm. It was horrendous. And the sand is actually kind of glued to the inside of the tent, so I'm just cleaning it in preparation for our Santana camping experience. And I love camping. That's a lie, by the way. The other important thing is to make sure it actually fits into Purdey. I think it will. Yep, slides down there a treat. Good morning, YouTubers. So it's the day before Purdey's test. We think we've got everything done that we need to do. So we've just got her out of the garage and I'm going to take her for a run in a minute. Better get rid of that light, hadn't I? It's probably not a good idea to have that there. So the harnesses are in, we've got all the switches done. We just need to put a bit more fuel in because she's a bit low on fuel because we only put a little bit in to test. So we'll let you know how it goes. So ahead of her test tomorrow, just trying to get a little bit of distance on Purdey. So brought her up the track. So her first taste of off-road. She's looking pretty damn cool. But she's properly out. You're out, aren't you, darling? Definitely out. It's all starting to look so we're not worried about that. And as you can see, Purdey is behind me with her sisters for the first time. So tomorrow, of course, is the test day, and we're pretty sure that everything's fine. I've run her up and down our lane all day. Had a few problems first thing this morning. She decided she wanted to just keep cutting out, but we seem to have got past that. Don't know what that was about. So hopefully tomorrow she'll get her test certificate, and then we can do a proper trial. Today's the day for Purdey's test. Getting the test today is the first step towards trying to register Purdey in France. We can't start that process without the roadworthiness test. So in a minute I shall be heading off to get the test. We'll keep you posted. Okay, I am slightly terrified. Purdey is now about to go into the CT. If we can get her into gear, it's not that difficult. Oh my god! And he got in. I think he was determined to get in. I don't know if he'll get out, but he got in. Yay! There's a sign here that says no stress. I'm stressed. My baby's in there having a test, and it's actually terrifying. So I've just stopped by this beautiful tree. So what do you think, guys? Did she pass or not?
Did she pass?
Yeah, she did. So while Purdey's been to the control technique centre, we're just trying to fix, and that's the royal we, obviously, because Chris is just trying to fix a problem with Delilah because her screen wash wasn't working. But it turns out that it's actually burnt the pump out, so just another little thing to fix. But of course she has to step up for duty for Dame de Coeur at the end of May, so she needs a little bit of love. On a sunny day, you realise that you might actually need some visors. So we're going to see if they fit. I mean, they'll fit onto the brackets, but whether they're actually usable and fold up is another matter. It's a bit seized at the moment because these came out of original Purdey, but I think they'll work. Okay. Ah, that's okay now. Très bien. I'm sitting here contemplating how we're going to fit all of our gear into the back of Purdey for Santana, because we have to kind of be self-sufficient for a few days. So that means we need a lot of stuff. We need a fridge, we need all our kit, we need a table, we need chairs, all of that stuff, and it's all got to fit in here. You taking up residence in Priscilla? Miss Lily. Yeah. You having a chat with her? We're trying to maximise storage space and fit all of our kit in. So this compressor we've stolen from Priscilla because you don't need it at the minute. We're trying to make a shelf for that to sit on with this storage box underneath so that we can get into this. And these little things open. Difficult to do this one-handed, and that drops down so we can keep things in there. Only nothing sort of that's going to be heavy because it'll probably break, but and that leaves us another storage space there, because with the wheels in we just don't have a lot of room in Purdey. You know how some fancy houses have a viewing panel in the floor to see maybe a river running underneath or wine in their cellar? Well, we've got a viewing panel so we can look at the connections on our fuel pump and a bit of our chassis. We had a bit of perspex and we thought that would be fun. I think that's pretty good.
Okay, and we'll put three out and a couple there and one in the middle of that. That's okay.
That's going to be a really unflattering angle. Gosh, that's tight. Try that again. Sure, you must have a drill that does this with a bit in it. Wow. Come on. That's got it. Don't tell me you wanted a washer under this or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a useful little storage space down there. Maybe tool bags go down there, I don't know.
Yeah. Tidy that wiring up.
Size matters, hey? This is the repeater screen for the Terror Trip. Just means that I get eyes on our distance as well as Marcella, just as a backup.
Yeah.
Can you not get your hand behind there now?
No.
It's all wiring again in Purdey today. We've still got a lot of bits of kit to fit in. What are you bringing through there? Is that for the repeater?
Yep.
It's getting hooked up on something, isn't that?
Yes, both ways.
We've got various antennas that need to go on the roof of Purdey to capture the GPS signal, whatever. So this is the first one. This is for the Terror trip. I need to find some paint that's a better colour match with this for that, but for the minute that's fine. And we've had to put a plate on because of course this is magnetic and this is aluminium, so that doesn't work. Although I've just had a little idea, because I've got a load of offcuts, so maybe I can put a wrap offcut on there. One of the slightly difficult things we have to fit in for Santana is the fridge, which is kind of quite big, and obviously the spare wheels are where they are and we have to be able to get to the fridge. So we think that this is a good place, we just don't quite know how we're going to secure it there, because obviously we can't go through the floor because there's a fuel tank underneath. So yeah, that needs thinking about. Just made a template for a bit of rubber mat to go in this footwell. I'm going to do both footwells eventually, because the metal is a bit slippy slidey sometimes, so I thought some rubber mat would be good. We bought this very cheap like rear load mat from Axion, our favourite shop. So the plan is, put that the other way around, it might fit better. No, it doesn't. I have to think about that. The plan is to make the second template, cut both bits out of here, and then we've got sort of a non-slip surface, and then we're just going to put, oh yeah, that's better that way. That fits, doesn't it? Cut that out. We've got plenty of room for the second one. Nice bit of non-slip. I've drawn around my template and I'm going to attempt to cut it out. Cuts quite easily actually. One piece of mat. Should we go and see if it fits? It's pretty good. We had a bit of a change of heart about how this all fits together. So the fridge we've raised up a little bit on this platform, which gives room underneath here to store water bottles. That's in that nice little cubby hole, and they also fit nicely in there. And then the sand ladders are going to go on top of the spare wheels just to try and maximise space, but still have easy access. And then we've got this space down the side for the tent where you saw me putting that earlier in the week. So the plan's kind of coming together. So we've got 10 days left now until we need to leave for Santana. And we've been working through the job list. Obviously the big thing for this week was getting the control technique, which is so amazing. However, a control technique doesn't mean to say she's ready to drive to the bottom of Spain. We've got a kind of weird screechy noise that we need to investigate. We think we may have solved it, but the next thing is to take her out again. Obviously we've had some electrics to do and bits to fit, so we haven't really run her since the test. So that's the job for the next few days. We've still got a couple of things to fit into the car, and we must do some packing as well. So thank you for staying with us this week and accompanying us to the control technique. It was great to have you with us. I really appreciate, as always, a big thumbs up for this week's video, and we'll carry on with our countdown next week. See you then.